So what really makes a delivery service reliable? Is it all about those shiny high-tech warehouses and global logistics? Or, is it something a little more personal, a little more grounded? Let's dive into how one company, ABest Express, is actually bridging that exact gap.
Okay, so just look at these two pictures for a second. On the one hand, you've got this state-of-the-art logistics hub just buzzing with efficiency. And on the other, a lone courier, totally determined, trekking through a remote field. So you gotta wonder, right? How can these two totally different worlds both be part of the same company? That's exactly what we're gonna unpack.
It all kicks off with a fundamental promise. And we're not just talking about delivery. We're talking about that professionalism and trust that every single customer expects and deserves in today's world.
This right here, this is like the engine room where that promise is made. You're seeing the professional team, the advanced systems for tracking and sorting, the whole organized flow of packages. This is where dependability is literally engineered, baking that trust right into the system before your package even hits the road.
And this statement, it just perfectly captures their whole philosophy. This isn't just some catchy marketing slogan, It's their benchmark. The big idea is that reliability isn't some extra feature. It is the absolute, non-negotiable standard for every single thing they handle. And in the world of logistics, that consistency, well, it's everything. It means that whether your package is just going across the street or all the way across the country, it gets the exact same high level of care and attention. It's all about building that trust through solid performance, time and time again.
And here's where it gets really interesting. It's one thing to be reliable inside a controlled warehouse, but what happens when the pavement ends? What does that promise of reliability actually look like when it's out there, in the real world?
Which brings us to the other half of this story, the reality of reach. This is where that polished, high-tech system meets the rugged ground, and it's where we see the true meaning of nationwide coverage come to life. Just look at this image. It's so powerful. That's not a delivery van on a perfectly paved highway. That, right there, is pure human commitment. It's one person making sure a promise gets kept, navigating tough terrain to get to a place that might not even be on a regular map. This is that last, and often the hardest, mile. And that's the thing, isn't it? The best technology in the world can only get a package so far. Real, true, nationwide coverage, that comes down to dedicated people who are literally willing to go that extra mile to connect every single corner of the country. Okay, so how does ABest Express actually connect these two worlds? How do they make sure that the high-tech promise that was made back in the warehouse gets fulfilled by that dedicated courier out in the field? So the whole journey starts right here, in this central hub. Every package gets scanned, sorted, and sent on its way with total precision. This is step one, setting the standard. Then, the system reaches out to places just like this, the local branch. And this is the secret sauce, the critical link. It brings that huge national network right into the heart of a local community, making the whole service real and accessible for everyone.
And it all leads to this final moment. The promise that started in that high-tech facility is now being delivered personally, one package at a time, often by someone from right there in the community. The professional system becomes a personal service.
So let's just boil it all down. First up, you've got trust. That's built on those professional, systematic standards we saw. Second, you've got reach, and that's powered by those dedicated people on the ground. And when you put those two things together, you get the final result, delivery. Your package, anywhere you need it to be. All right, so we've seen the how and the why, but let's talk about the what. What does all of this actually mean for you? It really comes down to this one simple but incredibly powerful idea. You get the total peace of mind that comes from a professional, reliable system, and you combine that with the incredible reach that makes sure your package gets where it's going no matter how remote.
And you know what? Getting started is literally as easy as pointing your phone. Seriously, go ahead and scan this QR code right now. It'll take you straight to where you can book a delivery. It's that simple to put this whole system to work for you.
So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. Whether it's a busy city center or a quiet town out in the province, where do you need to reach? Because now you know there's a service that's actually built to bridge that distance for you.